All right, welcome back to Bed Talk.
What are we on? Episode 6?
No,
7?
7.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
What are we talking about?
Today we are talking about the fact that Rivian just uploaded a new software.
To the autonomy platform?
No, you're getting Google Maps.
Oh my god, wait, this is exciting actually.
So now your maps are going to be Google Maps. Did we already talk about this?
No, I think we talked about how I wanted them to be better, and I talked about how the locations that Rivian picked were weird landmarks.
Oh, well, it's not Rivian picking it. It's whatever program they're using.
Yeah.
But now you get Google Maps.
Awesome.
Your car, though.
Uh-oh.
It's not updating, so...
What do you mean it's not updating?
It's paused. So,
By choice?
So the issue is, with one of these cars, the best way to update your vehicle is to be connected to Wi-Fi. Where do we park?
In a cement garage.
Yeah, so we can't get Wi-Fi on the vehicle. So that's why when we've been driving, I've been putting my phone on a hotspot and then connecting it to the car, which should then hopefully download the update.
Does it also have to be at certain percent battery, like an iPhone or something to update?
Just to, like, when you update, it has to be at a certain percent.
Right.
But not when it's downloading.
Oh.
Because you download first, and then you tell the car to update.
Sure. That shows how much I know about technology.
Yeah, but so the issue is, like, my R1T already did it, like, last week.
Okay.
And every time that I connect your car to my phone for a hotspot, it does like a percent and then it pauses. And I've tried to reset the vehicle. So clearly there's some issue with Rivian's Gen 2 vehicles and using the hotspot, unless it's just my phone and it's not doing it.
Or just my vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you tried like connecting while you're at work with my car? Like, would that help? Because you park outside.
So, well...
Can you connect to Wi-Fi there?
The thing is, if you don't use Wi-Fi, eventually it's supposed to go based off of the data. So your car connects through AT&T, which should then eventually take over the update, especially because we pay for Connectivity Plus per year.
Do you mean that at a certain point, they'll be like, well, your data is so outdated and we're acknowledging that. So even though you haven't connected to Wi-Fi, we're going to auto-update for you?
That's what it should do.
How long does that take?
I don't know. There's no...
So it could be months from now.
Well, no. If it's months, then that's not what we want.
Obviously.
It shouldn't be like that. So I have to play around with it and see, because it should update. So... when you do get the update, though, which is in my truck right now, you'll get Google Maps. I mean, it's very similar to what we had as far as just a basic GPS system, but it looks a little bit nicer. I like that the numbers and just like the text is a little bit bigger. And then the thing that made me the most frustrated about the old one was when you were coming up to a turn, you couldn't really see where the turn was coming because like the camera of the GPS was far enough back where it didn't show the turn. So like if I'm looking at the GPS, I'm expecting there to be a turn, but I like to be able to see on the screen like, oh, all right, I'm like inching up closer and closer. But the old one was like a top down and you couldn't actually see the turn yet because that like focal point was too close on the vehicle.
So now what does it look like?
So now it's like dialed back so you can actually see the turn coming. So you can anticipate it better.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if there's one thing Boston is notorious for, it's those turns that you don't expect that then you miss and sets you back 45 minutes on your commute. So that hopefully will be helpful for you.
Yeah.
Do you like it so far overall in your truck?
Yeah, so far I like it. I like that you can like touch like on the actual map while you're in the GPS mode to pull up information about other places. So if you're driving past something, you can tap it and be like, what is that?
Cool.
That's probably the biggest update. I think you get more realistic traffic data as well. So that's good.
That's been a big complaint because, well, specifically from me, because I feel like I am the type of person who really needs to know the traffic pattern before I leave, given that, being just outside Boston, a 20-minute commute could easily turn into an hour. And so I'm always checking my phone for traffic data.
Yeah.
Because I've learned getting into the car, it could still say 20 minutes, and that's a lie.
Yeah. I have not had it reroute me yet, which it should. Like
because of traffic?
If there is traffic, yeah.
Oh.
So I'm curious
like
how that works.
To get a shorter route, you mean?
Yeah, to get a shorter route. The one thing that I don't like about it, do you know how on Apple Maps, when you put something in, it'll give you like multiple routes?
Yes.
And, like, one is the fastest.
Yep.
I wish it did that, but it doesn't pull that up right now.
I've noticed that as well because there's a specific path that I take when I'm driving to school that I really like.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other or 3 other paths that I could take. And luckily, I've driven those enough times where I can finagle my way. If I see the traffic is bad on my primary, I know how to take the others and get around it. But I definitely would like to see all options at the start so I can make an informed decision when leaving.
Yeah. So I think that this is nice because you have just so much more data with Google Maps versus whatever they were using in the past. Don't ask me. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But having that and then hopefully them making it better over time, because there's definitely some features that I think could be useful. And Google owns Waze, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, people love Waze.
People love Waze. So it would be nice if some of those could trickle down. But then that comes the debate of, well, why don't they just put Apple CarPlay or Android Auto into it so that you can have decisions on which GPS mapping system you want to use? And I don't know, where do you land in that camp?
In terms of Apple Maps?
In terms of Apple CarPlay, like connecting your phone to your car?
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to care as much, but it is nice to have the ability for your car to read you your text messages and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that is coming.
Is that not Apple CarPlay, though?
I mean, that's part of Apple CarPlay, but that is just coming to your Rivian as well.
Okay, so what other parts of Apple CarPlay am I missing?
Realistically, it's the ability to have different applications. So you could have Waze, you could have Google Maps, you could have Apple Maps, and you can get to pick a la carte which one you want to use. And then there's other applications on your phone that you can also just have displayed on your screen.
I guess I don't care that much then still, because I personally don't use Waze, so that doesn't impact me.
Yeah.
The maps are good enough. And if anything, I can just put it on my phone and have my phone read it out loud, the phone GPS. So I feel like there are workarounds. I can understand for convenience sake, you want everything to be accessible through the car itself. So to those people, I hear you. I guess I just still don't really have a super strong opinion on that.
Yeah, I still lean on, I would rather Rivian optimize their system for their vehicle versus going through a third party that maybe doesn't have as much access to the vehicle.
Yeah, that's super valid.
I'm sure that they could give those companies more access in order to optimize their systems for it, but I think that just results in lack of progression with Rivian, building out their own system.
I mean, this is all proprietary information, right? So it's like if they can keep it in-house and create their own technology, why wouldn't they want to do that?
Yeah, and that's kind of their motto throughout their whole vehicle is just fully, vertical integration of the motors, the vehicle, the software, so that everything works and plays nicely together.
Yeah, listen, I mean, from a consumer standpoint, having a one-stop shop with everything is great in terms of parts, in terms of technology. From a business standpoint, you keep the jobs within your company without outsourcing, so you would hope that they're more reliable. I get it.
And it's quicker, like if you're a smaller team versus like an Apple or an Android,
right.
like you're able to push things quicker. So software updates are coming, pretty much once a month. I don't believe that would be the case if you fully gave reins to Apple or Google or whoever. You're
beholden to the other teams that you are working with.
So I like the more a la carte, like, they have Apple or they have Google Maps right now. Like maybe in the future they would add a separate Waze app and then you could use that one instead, set your preference for it.
Yeah, because like we can get YouTube through our home screen.
Yeah, we can get YouTube. I know a lot of people have asked, like, well, when is Pandora coming as far as music goes?
People still use that? Well, I guess my mom still uses Pandora.
People do still use Pandora or YouTube Music or, those other ones.
Do we have Spotify in the car?
There's Spotify in the car, but we don't use it.
No, but people love Spotify.
But, yeah, people love that. So, I mean, they already have the main ones that most people are using, and then it's those smaller programs that a few, I'm sure there's a lot of people still using them, but you can still Bluetooth it through your phone. I know it's kind of a pain, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, my biggest thing that I would want is the ability on the car to select a song up next in terms of a playlist.
That's actually so true. In the Apple Music app, to just be like, I want this song next. Like, give me that option. Because then you just have to keep it on, like, the search screen. Yeah. And then when it's ready or when it's time, you click it and then you can put it back
Like, I can only manifest so much for a song to, generically come up next.
Is there another app that you use on your phone that you wish you had access to within the Rivian, like, ecosystem? I have one.
I don't think so, because like I said, I don't use Waze. You're saying text messages are coming. Maps on Apple are my preferred option, but at least what Rivian has and now Google, it works enough. No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe once I hear your answer, I'll think of something.
Well, it's currently what we're doing right now.
Oh, Apple Podcasts.
Like
just podcasts in general.
If they put Apple Podcasts, because that's what I use.
Sure.
Like, I would be set. Like, I'm good. I have my Apple Music. I have Apple Podcasts. We have YouTube.
I didn't realize it. Google Casting. Podcasts. So you Bluetooth your podcast.
So every time I have a podcast, I have to Bluetooth it. Spotify users that use Spotify for podcasts, they don't really worry about it because that's what they use.
Yeah. No, that's fair because I use Apple Podcasts as well. Interesting that they don't have that.
Yeah, it's a matter of time.
Sure.
They have Apple Music. I'm sure at some point they will get Apple Podcasts. But that's the thing. It's like the beauty about the Google casting to the screen for like video is that realistically anything on your phone that can Google Cast will go on your Rivian screen. But, and I guess that's the same for Bluetooth, but if you want that like fully integrated, like this works with your Rivian very well. You do have to kind of wait on Rivian to make that happen. And I guess that's another reason why people think, well, Apple CarPlay, a lot of those main apps are already within it and you can use it.
Yeah.
So and point Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, there you go. And I think my argument for your argument is if you're using your phone for that, it's sapping your phone battery.
True.
And yes, Rivian does have the charger, but maybe it's just my charger. I feel like it's a bit finicky. Like your phone has to be really at the right angle.
That's terrible. Didn't we talk about this last time?
I think so. And you said maybe you and I talked about this off the podcast, but you wanted to get like a little charging pad or something.
Well, my truck has the charging pad in it. So we should probably get one for yours.
Should probably do that.
Because it's still so bad. And if you're out there and you're saying that it's not bad, I would love to know, what phone are you using? Do you have a case on it? Because I don't have a case on it. And guess what? That is so slippery. There's no grip on that.
I mean, listen, that's your decision. I think that's absolutely insane. But
well, I bought a phone and I want to see what it actually looks like and not look at a case.
Yeah, I guess you don't drop your phone frequently either.
Well, I have some cracks in it already. Anyways.
That's actually interesting. You just said, I would love to know what phone people out there have if it charges successfully. In my mind, it only charged iPhones, but I guess it probably could charge Androids too, right?
It's anything with a wireless
Yeah.
charger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And most phones have that now.
I mean, most people also have iPhones. People who still have Androids stress me out. Sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, America makes up a huge population of people with iPhones.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I really do like the addition. It feels more Rivian as far as what it looks like. I hope they keep building on the Google Maps.
Ooh, actually, I have something with maps. And
Sure.
maybe I just don't understand how this works.
Uh-huh.
But I know when I was in the Tesla, if I had an appointment on my phone, is it integration with Apple Calendar and Apple Maps? The appointment would come up in the car, and I could be like, boop, yes, I am going there. Thank you.
Yes, I would love for Rivian to get more of that predictive, like, where are you driving? And yes, that was basically using your phone connected to the Tesla that had access to your calendar.
Right. I would like that in Rivian because at this point, I have favorited all of my top locations, which I feel like people should do anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it would be really nice to get into the car and for the car on maps to be like, you're going to school. You are going to your hair salon. Like, you have an appointment at 3:45. Just click it and go.
Yeah, the nice thing about the new maps right now is you do have a home and work button, so it's just one tap. So that's nice. But
Oh, as opposed to just having it in favorites, it's specifically labeled.
Yeah, so it's specifically labeled,
nice.
And all you do is tap it and it goes. So that's
Perfect.
like the same idea. But I agree. I would love for that predictive, like, you're going here, like, just start driving and I'll take you there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
I
pretty
think
sweet.
I'm hoping and I'm curious because there's going to be a Rivian AI day coming up in fall. And I'm hoping that they'll talk about what other features they're going to bring into the software that enable AI. It seems like they're partnering pretty closely with Google on a lot of this stuff. So I wouldn't mind seeing Alexa getting the boot and having Gemini come in, and that's Google's AI system. And like, you can talk with Gemini, you can ask it questions, and then hopefully if you're using something like Google Calendar or even Apple Calendar, it'll be able to do some of those other features.
Yeah, I opened my phone and I was like, oh, this is something.
Yeah.
I have something to contribute here.
Yeah, because at this point, I think that Alexa on your vehicle is pretty useless. Like, it doesn't seem like it works at all, and you don't
I
even
never
know how
use
to.
it.
Yeah, you don't even use it.
You are correct. I have no idea how to use it. I'm assuming I hold down a button somewhere.
Yeah, so those are a few things that maybe we'll see in the future, and just the further integration of AI, I think, will totally change the landscape of vehicles in general.
Oh, definitely.
I think my favorite thing to think about right now is that, you know how when, I guess we weren't even born yet, the space race?
Yeah, obviously.
So I think that we have a new race.
The AI race?
It is the AI in vehicle race, or the self-driving race.
Oh, in terms of like Tesla versus Rivian versus, what's the other one? Waymo?
You got Waymo.
Does Lucid have self-driving?
Lucid just had a partnership with Uber to bring,
Ooh.
and another company that's doing the self-driving thing. So like, there's a big kind of race going on that not a lot of people are talking about outside of us nerds.
Listen, there's always going to be races within business to capitalize and monopolize on a market, especially when it comes to technology. I mean, do you remember when it was the iPhone versus the BlackBerry?
Oh, yeah.
And now, like, does BlackBerry even exist anymore?
No, I mean, they exist, but they haven't created anything like a phone in a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, this will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because that'll be huge, and all these other, legacy car brands that aren't doing this are either going to have to pay one of these other companies to get in, because they're already years and years and years behind.
Yeah. Speaking of people being, or companies being left behind and whatnot, Can we segue a little bit?
Sure.
So the big beautiful bill got passed,
Sure.
and I didn't know much about it in terms of the EV aspect of it, but I saw that the EV, is it the $7,500, what's the word I'm looking for? Incentive is no longer a thing. Do you think we are going to see a decrease in people buying EVs because of that?
I do think so initially, because that's honestly probably a big reason why a lot of people do end up getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of things that are basically getting cut off. So it's the EV tax credits, it's the home EV charger credit, it's residential clean energy credits. There's a lot of it. I think the EV tax credit ends on September 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like looking to buy a car right now that can utilize either the $7,500 for a new EV or the $4,000 for a used EV, like this is definitely the time to get it. Because I don't see that coming back anytime soon, unless these car companies take a hit and say we're still gonna just take it off the top. But that wouldn't make sense, and the shareholders would not be very happy about that.
So I wonder if for Rivian specifically, still being a newer up-and-coming company with only 2 models, do you think internally maybe there's a bigger push to get R2 out the door because those are a more price point accessible option for people?
Yeah, but I also think that they were banking on that because that would have brought the price down even
further.
more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like starting price of a R2 is supposed to be about 45,000, but like that is bare bones, and also you probably won't see that immediately. I think they're going to start off with the higher, they'll probably start off with like a dual max motor, and it's going to be around anywhere between $55,000 to $60,000, which then you start getting in the then you start getting close to R1. So why wouldn't you just go buy a used R1 at that point?
That's fair.
So I think that they were really banking on having that EV tax incentive. But I don't know. I think only time will tell.
Yeah, I think this definitely also factors into that AI race you're talking about, right? It's like companies might lose profits with this, and while Rivian is a higher price point overall right now than Tesla, right, which has lower end models, if people were banking on this, they could lose profit. And like hopefully in a few years, 5 years, 10 years, right, like we're still doing this, we're still having these conversations about Rivian, and like they make it through this, Lucid makes it through this Tesla, it's interesting to see how things have shifted so quickly in the last, let's call it 10 years with EVs, and now to see where the future is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it is really interesting. Tesla obviously has such a lead because they've been around for so long, and they've been able to build vehicles that are, relatively cheap and can compete with gas vehicles at this point, especially if you're looking on the used market. Like it's some of the deals right now, because of just everything, some of the deals on like a Tesla Model 3 are insane. Like you can get them for sub $20,000. Like you can get them really cheap, and they're fantastic cars. So Rivian is they started in a really tough spot with COVID, and this whole thing, they've had a rough go. They're still afloat, but they need to eventually make profit.
Yeah, and on a related note, so you're talking about like buying a used Tesla. Is buying a used EV a comparable decision to buying a used gas vehicle? Like, would you recommend buying a used EV since software always updates?
Yeah, I definitely would, and especially because there's less maintenance. So, like when you buy a used gas vehicle, you have no idea if that person actually changed the oil and took care of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like really the only thing that you need to do in an electric vehicle is rotate your tires. Every so often you do have to check fluids, but that's not for a long period of time. You have to, occasionally change brakes, and then just make sure that the battery is in a healthy state, which you can see that. So I think there's less risk with it. The ones that I typically tell people to avoid are the ones that were at like a rental place like Enterprise, because those just get beaten up. Like, oh, it's not my car. I'm going to absolutely, hammer the pedal as much as I want. So
yeah, listen, as somebody who does private investigations and investigates staged motor vehicle accidents, a lot of cases deal with rental companies and the vehicles that have been crashed.
Yeah, rental and Turo, like the horror stories off of Turo are just like, that's crazy that people will just use this car and absolutely destroy it.
Oh yeah, and a lot of vehicles involved in crashes that you then surrender your registration to go to those rental companies.
Yeah. So I feel like overall, I think Google Maps is a plus. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm happy it's here. I think it's going to keep getting better. I still don't think that Apple CarPlay and Android Automotive are the answer. And if you do, then just know it's never coming to Rivian because they've made that, very clear. If you think you're going to want to purchase a vehicle and you want to get the tax EV incentive, do it fast. Look at all the incentives that Rivian has. I believe it's rivian.com/offers. Everything is posted there if you want to check out all of those offers that they currently are running. Usually those end at like the end of a month, so just make sure to look.
And I would imagine if you purchase a Rivian prior to the September date that you said, but the vehicle has not been delivered yet, I would presume you're grandfathered into that incentive.
You have to look at the fine print because some of them say as long as you put in your purchase,
right, your
and
deposit.
Some of them you have to pick up by this specific date.
Okay. Again, as we've known before, always read the fine print.
Yeah, always read the fine print. So that'll be on there. And then, used EVs are great. Honestly, one of the best deals that you can get on a Rivian right now is still looking at a Gen 1 R1T or R1S. I think that there are some things better about the Gen 1 build than the Gen 2 and vice versa, so you're not missing out on anything. So, yeah, that's, I think...
Good notes.
Yeah, those are my notes for this episode. Can someone AI summarize that for the description?
Right. You just did. Those are for the description. I was gonna say those are the cliff notes, the spark notes.
Yeah.
So if people want to skip the entire podcast and just go to the last 30 seconds, there you go. Please don't do that. But
yeah, please don't do that. Watch, hang out with us.
Watch. We're not filming.
That's true. We're not filming. Listen. Eventually, we'll film at some point.
Yeah, eventually we will film.
Yeah.
But for now...
Once we can get all set up, we're still very...
we, much like Rivian, are still in our early days.
Yes, we're still in our early days. We don't have a fancy, podcast room like some of these other people have. We are currently on our couch, so...
It's comfy.
I mean, at some point, we'll just make it with us on the couch talking.
Oh, I don't think people really want to see that unless our dog is in it.
Yeah, we'll try to get Arlo in it. But that's it for this week.
Yeah, thanks for getting back into bed with us for Lucky Episode 7.
And remember, adventure is always out there.